Okay, hey everybody, it's Chuck. And things might look a little different. That's because I am recording this on my new Samsung Galaxy Tab A. It's a tablet. I specifically got it just to do surveys on. It's a little bit easier to, sit in a nice comfortable chair and not be tied down to the computer. And I gotta say, it's working quite nicely. But I wanted to try out doing a little vlog on it and see how it comes out. And so far, I'm looking pretty good. I'm actually in my kitchen, so I can have this, propped up. I have a case that turns into a little stand and stuff like that. But yeah, I just wanted to check in. It's been a while. I'm looking a little scraggly there. I need to shave today. Not as bad as it was last week. I broke the cutter on my razor. The actual cutting part, the little plastic tab broke off and it wouldn't sit right. So I had to wait like 4 days for the new part to come. Didn't have to pay for it, so that was nice. Last time I did, because it's not the first time I broke it. But my beard doesn't grow like when you see these guys with, like, the long ZZ Top beards. It like gets very it just curls and thicks and of course it was like warm out, so it was like a little humid. I used to grow my beard in full like a while ago, but I don't do that anymore. I usually keep it to like a little thinner than this. But anyway, a few things I wanted to tell you is for those of you who've been watching, thank you for checking out the new videos I've been doing. I've been dipping a little more into stuff that I enjoy, you know, like the Star Wars figures, the Marvel figures. I know they're not getting the views that they should, but then again, nothing is getting the views that they should. But I didn't want to just be tied down to Transformers like I've been. And to be honest with you, with the way things have been going in terms of, distribution and getting them, and, it's basically, I really try not to pay real money to get Transformers if I can't get the first review on them, just because then, I really don't make anything back on it. So I try to use gift cards and stuff like that. And there's a bunch that I want to get that I know if I keep waiting, they're just going to sell out, and that'll be the end of that. Also, believe it or not, and you'll be seeing these soon. I've been dipping my toe back into my full Gunpla interests. Usually, as some of you might know, I'm very much into Mini Pla, which are those little candy kits, Transformers, Brave, the Super Sentai, Power Ranger sets. And I've been doing a lot of Super Mini Pla. I have the Go Gaigar set that I'm waiting to build, and I finished a while ago the original Megazord from Power Rangers and the Dragon Zord. So I have the Ultra Zord just sitting there. No, I'm not getting Titanus because that's like over $100 for something that the Ultra Zords will just sit in, and it's kind of silly. I still have the SDCC Voltron, and I have my eyes on the Gridman Super Mini Paw, which I'm kind of kicking myself for not getting when it first came out, since it's a little expensive to get now. But anyway, so those will be coming soon. I guess I'm doing Gundam again. Let's see, I built two real grade kits in a row, the Exia, and then the first real grade kit, the RX-78-2, which is the original Gundam mech that started it all. And really, I mean, if you look into the history of Gundam and the influence it's had on anime and stuff, you'll see it in, our, Transformers, any type of show that involves some form of giant robot might actually be based off of a Gundam or one of the older Japanese super robots that were brought over to the U.S., depending on where the show was created. But I also did a high grade Bill Fighters RX-78, but it was like RX-78. It's very bright neon colors, and but I do have a traditional high grade RX-78-2 coming, as well as I have an RX-78-2 Ashtray. No, I have a high grade Ashtray red frame coming. and I pretty much just wanted that because it comes with a samurai sword. And then I think I have some eyes on master grade kits. Uh, just just doing them, it's like I realize like, oh man, my eyes are old because it's like the real grades are like basically master grade kits but only smaller. So lots of pieces, lots of tiny pieces that I'm like, ooh. And at the 20th of this month, this is June 2019, I will be turning 40. So that's a bit of an eye opener. But the next thing I want to talk to you about, speaking of reviews, and remember how I said I don't want to pay for stuff if not the first one who's going to get it? Well, some of you might be aware that last week, end of last week into the weekend, Amazon was getting some figures in stock that were popping in and out. Well, through the grace of God, I was able to get the figures. Now, it's 2 characters, but 4 figures. So, I'll let you figure out what it is. And then from somebody in Canada, I made a purchase yesterday that should be coming at the end of the week of a special anniversary transforming figure. So I'll let you guys figure that out. By the way, let me just help you clue you guys into something. When you see that Amazon gets a figure and then it sells out very quickly, but then pops back in again and sells out again, somebody explain this to me. It's when an Amazon warehouse gets stock in, scans it into the system, and that goes up, but then it sells out. But by then, another warehouse in another location scans the stuff in and stuff like that. So these figures are coming out, but they haven't reached saturation yet. So that's why it's happening like that they'll pop in, they'll pop out. I know it's a little annoying. I mean, last night I was up to like 3 in the morning because I wanted to get the Bandai DX VF1S Hikaru from Do You Remember Love, the Macross series, which is basically, for those of you Transformer fans, this is Masterpiece Jetfire, the toy Jetfire, in a much nicer version, slightly altered paint scheme. And that's when I found out Amazon Japan is no longer shipping to the US. This has happened before. If you have a pre-order with them, you're fine, like I do. But anything from this point on until they decide to turn on domestic US shipping again, is up in the air and probably won't happen. I was told a while ago that this happens because people check the comments. If they complain about something or they question something about Amazon Japan's policies or how they do stuff, that wakes them up to the fact they're shipping to the US, and then they decide to turn it off for whatever reason. This has happened a few times. The most recent time was with Transformers Legends Windblade, and if you remember, I ended up having to get that off of eBay, and I missed out on the first review. It was a whole terrible thing. So, yep, that's about all I really needed to say, and just wanted to throw this out there. So, thank you so much for you guys, for your continued support, for watching. Yeah, I'm sure you'll hear from me again before the end of the month, probably closer to my birthday, because it is Father's Day, and as those of you who were following from the previous year, Father's Day last year was not as happy as it could have been, but it was happier than it 2 months previous we thought it would be. So, yeah. But I'll talk about more of that later. So,